Well, greetings all. What I want to just talk about briefly, we focus a lot on the monetary aspects of our lives being financially prudent. It's at the base, the foundation of the five freedoms model that I created some years ago. It's at the base not because it's the most important, but because it is quite important. And I'll be reflective on my own life. In my earlier decades, all my focus was on that bottom foundation of financial. It was all there, and probably to some degree yours was too. Well, it makes sense, right? You work your way to get out of school. You have some school debt, like I did, and most of you probably have had, and you have to pay that off. You're starting a family. You're maybe starting a business, a practice, so you're adding new debt, and maybe starting to pay off old debt. And it's all about trying to stay above water, above ground, and start to build some momentum for the vision and the dream that we all have had in those early years of what that life's going to be like. Now, I'm many decades down the road from that. Some of you are also in a similar pattern. Some of you are in the midst of those decades, and your families are at younger ages. It doesn't matter. We're all on this journey together. And what I will tell you, for those of you who are not as far along, and good for you because that means you've got ideally more life to live because you're younger. So that's a good thing. Wish I could buy back more time, but I can't. Not with all the gold and silver in the world that I could put away. It's not going to happen. That doesn't mean I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful. What I'm saying to you is that what you will find is that, yes, the focus on building the business and making the money and being profitable, yeah, very important. Yeah, we have to provide for our families, no question about it. But that financial piece will, over time, start to diminish. And I want this community to be one where it can diminish more so. Again, not to say it's not important. It is important. We'll always focus on how we can be better navigators of our own financial future in this community. It's always going to be a big portion. But as I think you've seen me reflect, I'm shifting some things as the leader and the visionary to add more to the other four freedoms. Now, we've always had those other four freedoms. They've always been there. We speak to them, but the focus always seems to be always on financial at the foremost part. The five freedoms was not meant to be like Maslow's hierarchy, where you establish one and then you go to the next one, which would be time freedom, and the next go to relationships, and then next to health, and then next to purpose, meaning, significance, self-actualization, if you go by Maslow's hierarchy. The five freedoms was not meant to be that way. Maslow said it that way. Maslow said, well, first you have to have survival. You get past survival to safety, and then you go to community, belonging to some group, some tribe, some cohort, where that may be, because we all want to belong. We're social beings. Then there's esteem. We want to feel valuable, to some cohort, some people, whether it's our family or organizations or in the community. And then at the top of the pyramid is once you establish those other four, then you get to that self-actualization, like what is my true meaning in life, right? That's how Maslow set it up. And I'm not here to debate Maslow. I'm just saying I think what we all want to do is do a better job of not having this be an ascension ladder, but being something that's worked on simultaneously. All five freedoms. Now, no doubt about it, there's certain freedoms we're going to work on harder at certain times in our life. It's just, they'll take more priorities. That's the way it is. But to keeping our eye on the ball and not waiting until we think we have established all of the financial freedom aspects that we think we're ever going to need, because as we talked about, those goalposts will move all the time. We'll never think we have enough because we're always thinking, well, what if? We can play that game, hypotheticals of what can go down, what can happen, that's always going to be there. So there's never, ever going to be enough to protect us from everything that can happen. It's impossible. So we can kind of put that aside and saying, at some point, we should have enough. And when we can start to say the other four freedoms come into play much greater extent, that's where I think really gratitude and more of a peace of mind comes into play. I'm reflecting on my own life here. Hope you know that. Hope you know I'm not just talking from the top of the mountain going, well, I do this all my whole life and I'm just telling you no way. I have had to go through the twists and turns and iterations to have this become real to me in my own life. And I just want to portray it back to you. So if some of you are in a place where you still feel the frailty of whether it's financial challenges or relationship challenges or not having enough time, or maybe it's your health situation, or maybe you just don't know what your next is after you've done all the great work in your career and raised a family, and you're just going, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Any one of these can be real to any one of us. And I'm not saying I have them all perfected. Trust me, I don't. But I'm more cognizant of all five freedoms, and particularly the four above financial freedom. Again, not that financial is not important, and that's something that, again, I stay on top of, and we do in Freedom Founders, but the other four have so much more priority for me today, and I hope for you too. And I think about time freedom, which I intentionally bought more of over 20 some years ago, gosh, like 25 years ago when Jenna was in the hospital with a liver transplant. That's when it's like, I got to have more time freedom. And so I made the hard call to buy back some time, which I thought would be for an interim period. Then I'd go back to the typical grind. And again, I'm not saying the grind is not important, but I didn't go back to it. Amazing. And did I have enough back then, 25 years ago? Heck no. Enough for what? Specifically? Well, I wasn't asking myself those questions. It was just like, I was never going to have enough. But I had enough. I had enough at that point in my life to make a intentional turn for having more time, which allowed me to do what? To have a better, stronger, more meaningful relationship, first with my daughter and then with other people, because my gratitude was there because I realized that our life on this earth is not granted to a certain age. We all want to think we're going to live into our 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever we think it is. We all want to think that, but that's not always going to be the case. And so my wake-up call, fortunately, came to me at a middle age, relatively young middle age, when I could be more relevant to the thinking that I need to have going forward. So time freedom became very important at that point. Relationships, obviously my daughter, but other relationships too, other family, people, and health. I'll say health. When I got in the midst of a young family, then Jenna got sick early on in her life. And I kind of gave up my health. My health didn't decline badly, but I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing things. And so I put that off, which is very typical when we get into stress. So it's like, well, I'll catch up on my health later. I'll eat better later. I'll work out better later. Put that off. And certainly I had no clue as to what my purpose and meaning in life was going to be. That wasn't even on the radar back then. Not even on the radar. And probably that's the way it is for most of us, right? Not all, but most of us. So as my life has transpired, and I can say over the last 15 years particularly, but even over this last year, if we have the other things, the other freedoms, if we actually can focus on some time freedom where we want to put our time outside of just the work ethic that we have, the relationships, so important. That's where I have probably my most gratitude. When I think at the end of the year, Christmas and New Year's time, and it's really why I'm doing this today, because I have so much gratitude for every one of you, is I want to touch people and let them know you're important. You're an important part of my life. And I have, I have these rings of people. I have close rings and secondary, tertiary rings and quaternary rings of people. And it's like, I want to reach out to every one of them. Well, there's so many, I can't reach to all of them. Just like I can't reach out and send every one of you a message. Well, I guess I could, but I'd probably have to start, early in the morning and go all day long. In replacement for that, I just want to tell every one of you that you are incredible people. I love your fire for life, the passion you bring to everything that we do in Freedom Founders, the conversations that you bring, the intentions you bring. I'm just a huge fan, and every one of you has a place in this world, this community, whether it's with your own family or to a broader respect, or even inside of Freedom Founders. Every one of you has a place to contribute and have purpose and meaning. Don't ever think that just because you're through with your technical work that you trained so many years for, that you're done and you have no more value. Quite the contrary. You have a ton of value. And sometimes it's just putting yourself out there and finding that place. And if I can help any of you do that, that would be a big check mark for me, beyond everything else we try to do in Freedom Founders. So think back about what you've really enjoyed over this holiday period. And let's think about how we can get more of that, whatever that is for you. It may be specific relationships that were enhanced or you want more of. It could be some of the time freedom you experience and go, how can I get more of that time freedom so I don't feel like I'm just burned out on a schedule? It's all possible to do. I'm telling you, I did it. I did it because I had a purpose and meaning behind what I did back then. And it worked out. And it's not that I have done everything well in my life. I have not. I have made plenty of mistakes, both financial, personal, business mistakes. I've done them all. But with God's grace, and I guess the most important thing is my health has been good, and I've maintained my health, and I put a lot of emphasis on my health because I want the health, because I worked so hard, and you worked so hard too, to get to a certain point in life where you can start enjoying some of the other four freedoms, but you don't want your health to be something that you let go. So all these areas of the other four freedoms we want to really focus on this year and make sure we're not leaving those off the table. Because at the end of the day, none of us want to live life with regrets. I bring up oftentimes Bronnie Ware's The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And I just think if we think about those men that she spoke to in hospice in their last days, weeks, or month of life, reflecting back on what they regretted It was never about more money. It was never about a bigger practice or more EBITDA or multiples or a greater yield on some investments. It was none of those things. Think about that. Again, not that money and being a good shepherd is not important, but none of those things were the most important. So how can we today, going forward, this new year, be more intentional about not living a life with regrets? That's my big focus, and it's a big picture. But if you all are on board, I want to continue these conversations, and we'll weave all the 5 freedoms into these conversations at different times, different places. I just want you to know where my head's at. And if you're the same ilk, I want you to jump in, join in. Let's go forth this year. Put down the areas of your life inside the 5 freedoms and be specific about some areas that you want to definitely make sure that you focus on. Bring them up and say, hey, I reflected back at the end of 2025, and here's some of the things that I brought to the table. Here's what my wife brought to the table. Together we want to do these things. Some can be the same, some can be different. That's okay, because we all have our own lives, but we want to intersperse these into the goals and the actions, behaviors we bring to the table. And if we speak them out loud and then bring them up on a regular basis, they'll start to happen. If we just keep them inside the noggin and don't ever express them, then it's easy to let them slide because, well, we're not being accountable because we didn't tell anybody. If we tell people, here's what I want to do, yeah, will we slip and slide sometimes and not get it done? Of course, always happens. But if we come back and we reorient and reflect on what were these feelings I had in that last week and beginning of the new year, what was the most important? Got to come back to it. Yes, we'll put out some other fires and urgency areas along the way. Always happens. But come back and realize what's the most important thing in your life. That's the North Star I want us all to shoot for in this next year. I'll be leading the charge. Jump in there with me. Help me, because I won't be able to do it perfectly. No way. Need your help. Need your input. Need your engagement in all respects of this. Make it a great new year. My best to all of you. Thank you for everything you bring to this tribe.